Welcome.
Yay! Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having
Welcome,
me.
Elias. I'm Karabo. I'm Karabo Finger of Decata.africa. This is another podcast of Decata. We have Elias of N.O.T.E today. How are you, Elias?
Yes. Hi, Karabo.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. What a beautiful show. So
Yes,
you
thank you. Thank
that was
you.
SA Fashion Week, autumn
Yes.
winter
Mm-hmm.
2018, right? And you
18, 19, yeah.
2018, you titled it The Mongolian Creative Traveler.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes. As you know, I've always been a fan of prints
Mm.
and storytelling and having these creative concepts about all my shows ever since we've started.
Mm.
Uh, there's always a concept behind a show. It's not just a show, you know.
Mm. Mm.
So with this one here, I wanted to incorporate a bit of the Mongolian people, but still using my aesthetic in
Mm.
terms of prints, the usage of prints and texture layering in terms of the fur and your solid fabrics like your bull denims and
I love
yeah,
how you're so
that's
worldly in your designs. I love how you open yourself up, to all kinds of influences, and you take direction from cultures across the landscape.
yes, definitely.
You don't pin yourself down, and I suppose then you open yourself up to the world, to your creativity. I love that.
Thank you very much. And I think that show actually um, yeah, I think it was my first show
Mm,
with SA Fashion Week,
mm,
my debut, yeah. And with that show, I just wanted to actually show the people what my aesthetic is about, what I'm all about. Of course, a lot of people might think I'm just one-dimensional in terms of the Asian aesthetic,
mm.
but that's my personal style. That's what one thing I've always loved about the whole aesthetic.
Mm.
Their culture is very rich and is very diverse, and that's one thing people don't understand, that within the Asian culture there's a lot of styles and aesthetics that have not been tapped,
mm,
uh, you know.
yeah,
So yeah, that's me trying to actually I wouldn't say commercialize,
mm,
but trying to stretch the whole Asian aesthetic,
mm.
you know. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the
That is
Mongolian,
that is your base. That's what you draw inspiration from.
yes, yes, yes.
Mm,
I could fuse it with anything else. You know what I mean? Hence, I said I wanted to stretch it. I could fuse an Asian aesthetic, maybe fuse it with Zulu.
mm,
You know,
mm,
maybe cross pollinate with some, like, just amazing clashes of cultures that have never been actually thought of,
mm,
like something that you would never think of actually coming together and actually coming out very beautiful and
mm.
becoming an untold story.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm all about. So with that uh, collection, I really really wanted to actually open up and just show them that, okay, this is me,
Mm-hmm.
but is that there's another me, but that me is special because now it shows my creativity, and it shows my aesthetic, and it shows my love for the
Mm,
prints
mm.
you know
Yeah.
I love creating winter pieces.
Mm,
I've always loved creating winter pieces.
yeah.
I love layering, and I love texture layering. So
Mm,
that's me.
yeah.
Yes.
As a
Hmm.
designer as well, those of you in the audience who don't know, I was a designer as well in a former life. I also used to love winter. Personally, I hate
Yes.
winter, but as a designer, there's so much more you can do in winter, especially as you say, layering. Um,
Yes. I'm not. I'm not
mm,
a. I'm not a minimalist. I'd like to think.
mm,
That's why I love layering and actually creating different cuts and different new shapes,
mm,
you know,
yeah,
because a fit is a fit, you know what I mean? So, but you just need to actually create your own fit. If you have your own fit, people will actually love
mm,
that fit and say, yo, I like his cuts, I like his fit.
mm,
So that's we try each and every day to actually perfect and actually try to own
mm,
our own fit and our own aesthetic,
mm.
so that what is it called, like a signature?
The signature,
Yeah, if you have your own signature, then it's good. As
yeah,
soon as that outfit pops out of nowhere and someone looks at it, and then immediately they can say, okay, that's Note.
mm,
So that's what we're fighting for, to get our own signature so that people can actually identify
mm,
without even asking or without even
yeah.
questioning anything. Yeah.
Mm. Here's a
So
lovely quote.
that's the whole.
uh,
Yeah.
Here's a lovely quote by SA Fashion Week. Elias has an eye for fabric with the unique ability to tell a story through his seamless integration of fabric, color, and shapes. How beautiful.
Oh wow,
And
oh
I
wow, you
think,
see,
and I think
that
that
makes me
reflected,
happy because I actually, my
uh,
point across is exactly what I was explaining. And I didn't even see where is a fashion week. Okay.
oh yes, I think let's have a look. Let's have a look. So Note stands for not of this earth, and it is
Yes.
described as a gender fluid clothing brand that does wearable art. So you are all about wearable art.
Yes. Um, Before fashion, there was art. I've always been a lover of art. I've always loved incorporating my clothes with art. Um, I never knew that it was a thing before, but I only realized that when I actually entered the GQ Men's Talent Scout.
Mm-hmm,
So that's when I did my first collection called Art Inspired by Art.
mm-hmm,
I collaborated with my nephew, Lerato Brian Lebiane, who's an artist. He's an aspiring, amazing creative, amazing artist. So the whole concept was inspired by every artist that I've actually that I actually grew up listening to or watching on TV, whether around entertainment, whether it's fashion, whether it's TV, whether it's music. So your Huma Sekelas, your Miriam Makebas, your Kaifa Semenias, you name them, all of them, I actually had their portraits on all my collections, all my pieces. So that's why I call it art inspired by art, because I'm an artist inspired by other artists.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was actually celebrating all the fallen heroes and all the fallen legends, just to say that this is how I actually celebrate you guys. And even in the fashion industry, I had a kimono that had Clive Randall, Lucilla Poison, Marlon Fassler, and some other fashion influencers, your Mante, Ribane, Sfi. It's yeah, some of them is people that I've known for years. Felipe as well is there on the jacket. So it's, yeah, that was just me celebrating people that have inspired me and people who have molded me to this creative person that I am today.
It sounds like a priceless jacket.
It is
Whoever
definitely, it
gets to
is.
wear it is a very lucky person.
Actually,
Beautiful.
Felipe, he's the only person who gets to wear it, since he's one of the people that actually I really respect and looked up to.
Mm,
So I had him put it in his collections, like his archives.
mm,
And I know that he's a perfect person who can actually take good care of it, and he understands, and he celebrates it every time he wears it. He understands what I was trying to say.
yeah.
And he was one of the people who were there when I was starting to actually come up with this concept. He was one of the people that actually said, "You know what, you can actually do it.
Mm,
Let's do it, you know?"
mm.
So why not give the same person who actually um
The pleasure of
helped me
it.
prepare, yes,
Yeah.
helped me actually do this whole project. But I'm actually happy I opened up my own lane now, which is art inspired by art, and it's a concept that I want to actually see myself push from now until the end, you know.
Was it
uh
also the same concept that got you to win Raw Silk season 2?
um with that, that's a whole different story
By the
with
way,
raw silk.
I love this image of you here on what a mischievous smile. You look like you're saying
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
winning.
It's like I already knew, ne?
Exactly.
No,
Congratulations on that win, by
it's
the way.
sorry.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much. It wasn't planned.
Mm,
My sister decided to actually um enter this whole thing for me. She was
mm,
like, "Yo, you need to actually do this," and I was like, "Nah, I don't want to do it and whatnot." But she forced me to actually do it, and I'm actually grateful for that.
mm,
Uh, it was an experience. Um, it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life.
mm,
And I enjoyed. It was amazing. At the same time, it was very challenging.
mm,
But um, I learned a lot from it. I took a lot from raw silk,
mm,
life lessons about people around you,
mm,
about working under pressure, about being creative on the spot, you know.
Mm,
Um, it made me it for me, raw silk was an affirmation that I've always um, wanted
mm,
for
mm,
myself and not for other people, just for me.
mm,
And being watched around the continent by over 11 million people is something else.
mm,
It's an amazing feeling being on knowing that the stats and knowing what's at stake, you know.
mm, mm,
But winning it was a whole new experience, a whole new feeling. It was overwhelming. It was,
mm,
yeah, that affirmation that I've always wanted to get for myself. I actually got it, and yeah, I only actually celebrated this. I think I only cried after months.
mm,
It hit home after months
mm.
that I actually won that the season 2 Yarrow Silk,
Yeah. And what did it do for your brand?
Um, it was a boost.
Mm-hmm.
It was a boost in terms of brand awareness, because now people know Note. People didn't know who Elias was. They didn't know who Mr. Note was. People thought I was just a person. People knew me, but they didn't know. Some of the people, my friends knew me, but didn't know what I did,
Yeah.
what I.
Mm,
But when they saw that, they were shocked. And
mm,
then people that knew me, they're like, no, okay, cool. we
mm,
we, we expected that valuable.
mm,
It gave me in terms of marketing, yes, in terms of the brand awareness, yes, in terms of uh followers. I got more followers,
mm,
I got respect from my fellow designers and creative, you know.
mm,
Yeah, it was a stamp of approval from the fashion people, you know.
mm.
But yeah, that's all it did actually. Yeah,
What about the business end of things, though?
that's
You know,
the obviously.
hard for
um
creating, you know, with money.
well, I was I was expecting a lot, because
Mm,
after the win, I was expecting a lot in terms of PR and stuff, from their side. But there wasn't a lot. There wasn't any, because I had my
mm,
PR things on the side, and I was ready for that. So they told me, no, SABC has that
mm.
sorted for you. So I was expecting that, but I didn't get that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only, yeah, downfall. I thought, okay, but what must happen now? Okay, I
Mm,
just want this thing. So do I actually push myself, or do I wait
mm,
for you guys to come and actually
mm,
help me, or what's happening?
mm, mm,
But yeah, and that could have actually helped me more
mm,
in terms of brand awareness and in terms of the business side.
mm,
But it did help in terms of people coming through and knowing that, oh, this is what you do. This we want to support. I got um, um, new clients, the right clients, people that understand, or people who are fascinated about my brand and they want to know more. They
mm,
came through and they understood. Because remember, immediately after I won Raw Silk, I decided to actually enter SA Fashion Week.
mm,
So I didn't want to actually sit down and just relax and let just everything happen on its own.
mm,
So I had a plan.
mm,
Showcasing right after Raw Silk was one of the plan,
mm.
and other stuff. But I couldn't, because now my hands were tied because of the contract and SABC.
Yeah. Mm. Also, you
Yes.
had a contract with SABC.
Yes, yes. Obviously, with these things, there's always contract. There's always a contract.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm,
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that were supposed to be uh, delivered, but they weren't, you
Yeah.
know.
Mm.
But it's fine. It's things that I can live without, you know, like working with Ole
Mm.
for a year. Um,
House of
I
Ole.
understand why. Yes, I understand why he did not do that, but it's okay, you know.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like me. He's also more into the whole um, art inspired by art type of setup
Mm.
as well. So I think maybe he thought maybe it was gonna be more of a, you know,
Mm.
a clash, or I don't know, but I can't say on his behalf why it did
Mm.
not happen, me working with him or for him.
Yeah.
um but I understand.
Yeah. Call
Yeah,
it
I understand.
call it creative differences.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the collection. Um,
Yes, let's
the,
let's
the
let's let's
Mongolian creative traveler, right?
hmm
Did
hmm
you work on these fabrics? Um, did you source the fabric? Did you paint on it and dye it yourself? What was the process? Yeah.
No, the process here, it's I wanted to do something like this along these lines. I wanted to actually create my own fabrics. It's always good to actually create your own fabrics,
Mm,
but I didn't have the time to actually do that.
mm,
But luckily, I got a supplier who had these amazing printed fabrics that I could actually use and actually interpret them the way I wanted to.
mm,
Um, Unfortunately, that company is no longer here. They relocated to Cape Town, but it's the one store or the one suppliers who love going to and actually finding. As a creative and as a designer, it's always good to find your own
mm,
fabric or your own print, knowing that no one else you will ever use it, or you will never find it anywhere else. So this print here just caught my eye because it's exactly what I wanted.
mm,
I did not dye it. I wanted to dye. I wanted to create my own fabric. I wanted to paint like the first art inspired by art collection, but I couldn't because of the time.
mm,
But yeah, I loved this print because now it the brush strokes and the colors, these are my colors, by the way. I love your earthy colors. I love using earthy colors. I love hence I'm not of this earth, but I'm inspired by the harbor of life, and earth is where I make a stand. That's actually my slogan. So this is why I actually chose. I'm always using these earthy colors and interesting prints, and the cuts. With the cuts, I wanted to actually still have the whole the Asian aesthetic cuts, a bit of boxy. If you can see the first one
mm-hmm,
from from your left, right?
mm-hmm,
It's the top. It's actually it's a half back kimono. It's cropped at the back,
mm,
and the sleeves obviously are wide because I wanted to keep that whole kimono cut. Still, at the same time, the front is actually longer than the back,
mm,
and it has um, uh, pockets, you know, like these
mm,
nice patch pockets. So that's the whole aesthetic I wanted to keep, and I wanted to keep it clean as possible.
mm.
As a creative traveler, it doesn't mean that you have to be. I could have went the whole raggedy and tidy layering Mongolian aesthetic
Mm,
way, but I chose to actually keep it clean with the fabrics that I chose,
mm,
you know. So that's why I actually decided to go with this whole print and with this whole the cuts as well.
mm.
And there was a bit of restrictions in Fashion Week, you know.
Oh, is it?
I was yeah, it was something that actually I had a problem with because I actually was supposed to actually include a lot of fur and leather
Mm.
to actually tie the whole thing.
Restricting. They were restricting the use of
Yeah, so to
fur
hold, yeah, I think it was the fittings. On the fittings, I had there are other pieces that didn't actually make it in
and
the collection. They didn't make it on the runway
mm,
because of those restrictions.
mm,
So I had a bit of a problem with that because now I'm telling my own story, and I wasn't expecting someone to come and nip tweak
mm,
my story, and say
yeah,
no, but this and this, and they don't understand where I'm coming from, or where I'm going with this whole thing.
yeah.
So as I was doing the fittings, I had the fur pieces and the piece that didn't make it. So uh, I was told, no, South Africa is not that cold. Why do we have? Are you using so much fur and stuff? And I had quilted fabrics, quilted pants,
Mm,
stuff that you can only see in countries that have snow and stuff, really cold places.
mm,
But
mm.
I was told, no, South Africa is not that cold.
But
But
is it that
my
now
my
you must, as a South African designer, you must design for the South African climate? Are you not supposed
you
to
know
live
what I mean?
globally as a designer and design for
That's
for
exactly
the
my
South?
argument.
Uh,
Yes. So
uh,
so my argument was that, but my audience they're not just South Africans,
mm,
cross border. I have people in Germany who actually support my work. I have people in America who actually support my stuff. I have people in Kenya who actually support my stuff. I have people in Denmark. I
mm,
have people in um, I mentioned, oh yeah, I did mention Germany.
mm,
So that was my thing. Why would you actually want me to actually limit me and say no, you're not supposed to be designing
yeah,
these
yeah.
type of stuff because the climate here is not that cold, you
Mm.
know? So I was forced to actually drop a couple of looks um, in my collection.
That's really unfair.
And it yes,
Mm,
it and at the same time, understand, I paid for that slot. It wasn't a
mm.
slot that I actually won, or a slot that was
It was not granted to you.
and I was quite disappointed by that, you know what I mean?
Mm,
uh I, I've heard stories about that happening, but I didn't think that it was a thing.
mm.
And like Andile like that.
Andile.
Um, but Dope Store, from Dope Store. I don't know if you remember
Uh-huh.
Dope
Yes,
Store.
yes.
Yeah, I think he also experienced something like that
Mm,
with Fashion Week. Them wanting to pull him out of the show because of certain uh, uh, standards or criteria that he didn't meet. But on the day, minutes before the show, so
minutes before the
it's
show.
it's 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 mm, minutes before his show, and it was a huge thing. But he ended up showcasing. But you see, it's hence I'm saying it's not even. I hate is a strong word. I
Mm.
dislike such kind of powers, or like for
Dogmatic,
lack of a,
dogmatic
yeah,
and
yeah,
dictating. Yeah, dictating
you know
to a creative.
dictating, yeah.
what
and
one thing
and
that we are as creatives is that we hate to be dictated to, and the reason, the main reason why we choose creative paths is because we want to be free. We want to be given the freedom to express our creativity and, our view of the
yeah,
world. Mm,
definitely.
yeah.
That's exactly what we want. And
Mm,
once you feel boxed and you feel restricted, you
mm,
don't feel safe.
yeah.
You're not happy because it's not some you have not
Mm,
um, shared what you wanted to share in the beginning.
mm, yeah.
So
Mm. Another big thing is that you want to be respected as a professional, you know. Yeah.
exactly that.
Mm,
So it wanted to let other creatives know that these platforms shouldn't actually dictate whether you are a good designer or not. They're
mm,
there to actually serve a purpose, and that purpose is actually to give you a marketing platform to
mm,
actually get your stuff out there, not to for you to break you down or
mm,
tear your spirit down and say, no, listen, you are not that good enough as a
yeah.
designer. I think that's one of the many things that we are facing as creatives,
Mm,
in terms of the fashion politics within the fashion industry.
mm,
There's cliques, there's gatekeepers. If they don't like you, they don't like you.
yeah.
But remember one thing: you're only there for one thing, and that is to actually get your brand out there, and
Mm,
the rest is just extras,
yeah.
unnecessary things that you want for yourself or for your brand,
Mm,
you know.
yeah.
But I learned, we learn, I learned, and I have nothing against SA Fashion Week.
Mm.
I just know what to expect and what it's all about. I just remembered.
It was a learning
Yes,
curve.
yes, it
Well,
was.
I'm still very glad, you were still able to showcase such a beautiful collection.
Yes,
It's so heartwarming. It's so beautiful, and it just, I don't know, it just fills you up with just like, you really want to snuggle up, especially when you look at this beautiful blue blue scarf,
yes, yes, yes.
Thinking about a
I
winter collection.
snuck. I actually snuck that scarf because she didn't want the scarf to go in. I snuck it in. I was like, yo, the scarf is going in. There's no way.
I love that. I love
I
that.
just snuck it in there, like, what is
Yeah.
going in. I don't
Mm,
care
yeah.
what, but there's a couple of pieces that I would have loved to see on the
Mm,
ram, but I couldn't because of
yeah.
that.
Well, I hope you
Yeah.
didn't go home with a sore heart anyway. It was still a successful collection.
Yes, no, no,
Mm,
definitely. I enjoyed it. Despite all the politics, it
mm,
was a great collection, and
mm,
I I look forward to making a better one
mm,
this year.
mm,
You know, I was
yeah.
supposed to have showcased last year, but because of the whole COVID thing and
Mm,
everything else, I was like, you know what, it's fine. I decided to do pop-ups for
mm.
the brand so that the brand can actually
Well, you
push
keep
in
it
terms
alive.
of sales. Yeah.
You keep it alive.
I
Um,
started, yeah, just to keep it alive. Live. I
mm,
started a N.O.T E pop-up,
mm,
which started in last year, Jan. I think last year, Feb. Yeah, I think last year, March, if I'm not
mm,
mistaken.
mm,
It was right before the COVID, because the first one was before COVID, the whole COVID thing.
mm,
And then after that, obviously, we had to actually try and maneuver, you
mm,
know, I the concept was for me to actually try and collaborate with as many creatives in one year,
mm,
like each and every month. Maybe a year I was supposed to have collaborated with 12 creatives
mm.
from different um, uh, um,
Genres, industries.
genres. Yeah, different genres. I don't know what's
Um,
happening with me. Different
mm,
genres, um, and then collab. Just put that all together, fashion with that, and then
mm,
just try and see what we can do.
mm,
But because of the COVID, I couldn't get creatives. I think we only did three three pop-ups.
mm,
I think three, if not four pop-ups. It
mm,
was supposed to be more than that, but now my challenge was now the next pop, then the right after the COVID.
mm.
I had planned to actually do a show with this German lady. She's an artist as well. So we were busy um, in Germany, and you know, that
The
actually
COVID
killed me
definitely,
there.
yeah.
And I tried finding more.
Mm.
Yeah, because I tried finding more creatives, but I couldn't because now the whole COVID thing.
The
But
restriction.
we stopped, and then we just focused on the pop-up itself and not the art. So yeah, so I had to actually just create different pieces every month that has to do with whatever theme that we are going with, and then we just sell that. And it actually, it was great. I enjoyed it, and we are, I think we're going to do another one this year, March, on the 27th.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's what I did just to keep the brand alive after the fashion week.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I love the idea of the pop-ups because it's another way for you to be able to do your own showcasing as a brand,
Yes,
promote your own brand
yes, yes,
outside,
yes,
away from
yes,
the establishment, away from the traditional way of doing things. You found something different, bringing people
yes,
together,
yes,
um, artists, painters, musicians, and you bring together a community of people and you showcase yourselves as creatives. I really enjoy those. Um,
yes, yes,
do
yes.
you post them on your Facebook page or is it Instagram?
Yeah, it's Facebook page, Instagram,
Mm,
and WhatsApps.
mm,
Just people who are around me. I just let them know and just share my the posts,
mm,
and I share the pieces that I'm going to be selling.
mm,
We share the concept as well, and then we share shoots
mm,
as well. If there are shoots that we actually did before the pop-up, then we share that, and then what to expect. The music itself, we actually have like we share mixes before the actual pop-up, just to let people know and understand
mm,
what are we trying to sell them, what type of lifestyle, what type of
mm.
environment we are trying to sell
So you're trying to give
our audience.
to showcase an entire experience and an entire lifestyle,
Yes.
in this
Uh-huh.
package, right?
So yes,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly that.
yeah.
Exactly
And then
that.
do you have models?
So
Do you have models coming in, putting on your clothes during the pop-up? Do they and
not
or
really.
what?
So
You just make
here's
it.
the idea. We wanted, we yes, we wanted to have models,
Mm,
but my thing was, why not let the people who are already there, let them be our models, because they are the ones that are actually consuming this. They are the one who are going to be buying
mm,
and wearing this. So why not make them special, make them feel extra special by letting them be models?
mm,
So you get there, you like an outfit or you like a piece, there's a photo booth. You just dress, we just style you. We have a stylist as well.
mm,
They'll style you, and then you go to the photo booth, and then they'll shoot you as a model for N.O.T.E on that day. And
mm,
then from there, we take down your details, your and then we tag you. Once we start posting these, we taking them out, then we tag you, and then you get to see, and then and that actually gives you a more you get more confident and in buying the pieces, because you've worn it and you've seen how people actually love
mm,
the piece that you're wearing, and then it's a win-win for both of us, you know. So
Mm.
that's the whole plan. Instead
Right.
of getting a professional model, get the people who actually are my target market, people who are actually going to be buying and actually wearing that. Let them be the models.
Mm.
So that actually worked quite well
Yeah.
because people love cameras, people love dressing up. So
Of
yeah,
course.
that's the plan.
That's why we have Instagram. That's why we have social media.
Exactly. You want
Uh,
content.
it's the
So
age of the self. You have to.
ex-
I want to talk a little
yes,
bit
you see.
about your career as a stylist. I know you were a stylist for a while, and you used to help other
Yes.
designers work on their looks. You worked with who did you work with? Let me see. Help me out a little bit.
I worked with Tabo Bling.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was my first collaboration, or my first, not collaboration, my first
Mm,
styling
mm,
and creative directing.
mm,
So I'm more of a creative who has these concepts and ideas, and I don't mind sharing them. If you have a concept and you're free to actually sit me down and then say, dog, this is what I want for my
mm,
collection, and this is what I was thinking. I can say, okay, Shapu, here are a couple ideas. How about this? How about I would suggest a couple ideas for you for your collection. I don't want anything in return. I'm just helping a friend, or I'm just helping a fellow creative.
mm,
I've worked. Then that's what I do.
mm,
If let's say you feel that a certain idea is too far-fetched or it can't be done, then I'll be there to help you and say, no, there's an easier way to actually do this, and then you do it. um yeah, with Tabo Bling, I was doing his accessories and the embellishment on the garments.
mm.
So I did that with Tabo Bling, and then I helped.
Was this for fashion show?
This was for SA Fashion Week, Man Scout,
Mm,
and he came second.
mm, mm,
He didn't win it, but he was number two, which was better than,
mm.
than anything else, because he got the recognition that he wanted at that time. I think it was 2000 and sure, I can't remember. 2000 and was it 2000 and I know it was right after 2000 or 2011s and 12s.
Mm,
I can't remember the date, but that was my first actually taste of me styling or being part of Fashion Week
mm,
behind the scenes.
mm,
And I enjoyed that. I grew from that, and I got a lot of um, ideas and skills,
mm.
in
And
terms
then
of
soon other
styling.
designers were
And
calling
then
you to
from
help with
there,
styling. And then you got referrals,
yes.
you know.
Um, Yes, I got more referrals. I got people calling saying, "Yo, I heard that you helped so and so. I'd like you to come through and help me if you don't mind."
Mm,
And so some were offering to pay me, saying, "Okay, I will pay you this much. You just help me and whatnot." And then I got a call from Floyd
mm-hmm.
from the Smarties, and then he was referred
Floyd Avenue.
by yes,
Yeah.
he called me. I've known him for years. We were friends for years from fashion from school.
Mm,
We should go out together and just hang together. And before the Smarties became a business, the Smarties was a movement. We were part of that as well when it started, you know. And
mm,
I'm actually proud of that family because now it actually produced a lot of dope creatives in
mm,
South Africa. Your Mantes, the whole family, Abomante, your Floyd, your Kepis, your Letabo, your Sibu. But yeah. He called me. He got a referral from Usibu saying, no, Elias is, if you want help or you need someone in your camp to actually produce a beautiful or dope collection, call Elias. And then I went there, I helped him. I think I stayed there for like a month.
Mm,
Kobona. And then I helped him with his first, same thing. He was doing a competition at GQ.
mm,
I was helping him with that, and then he won that, and that was amazing as well. I helped him with, I think I helped him with three shows. Yeah, three
mm,
shows. And then I helped other designers, Yosibu as well, and who else? There's a lot. There's a lot. Some I can't remember,
yeah.
but yeah, I was well. My mom taught me that when you actually go out and actually help other people, don't act like you
Mm,
know. That way, if you say you know things, then you're not gonna learn anything. So I always go out there with that mindset. Yauri, okay, I don't know anything. I'm just here to help and I'm here to learn.
exactly.
So I think that experience helped me in terms of the challenges that I met in raw silk, Koro silk.
Yeah.
Experience helped me win that raw silk more than anything. Talent and experience helped me win that because I already knew how to actually work under pressure and how to actually work with people and how to actually block other certain unnecessary things
Yeah.
around you.
Mm.
So yeah, that actually helped.
All right. So you worked on this lookbook with Themba Mbuisa.
Yes.
Themba Mbuisa won the L Max Style Report winner for 2016, and that was a competition where he
Yes.
would get to be the styling photographer for Elle magazine for a couple of months. How
For
did
Elle
you
magazine, right? Correct.
how did you
Correct.
collaborate with him? How did you come together and collaborate with him for this lookbook?
Um, with Temba, it's these are people that I know. It's people that who are always here around us. People that as creatives, we grew up um, hanging together.
Mm,
Hanging and actually watching our careers separately, saying, "Okay, Sharp, I see you doing your thing and you're pushing. I see you doing your thing, pushing."
mm,
But it's something that I've always wanted to work with Temba. He's always wanted to work with me, but we've never had the time. But we told ourselves, nah, it needs to be organic. Whatever we are going to work on, it needs to be organic and it needs to feel right.
mm,
So he was there at the show, behind the scenes. He was backstage. Well, after my show, he came backstage and he was like, "Yo, I think we are ready. I think this one's the one.
mm,
This collection is the one. This is the one we're gonna do the lookbook for you." And then I was like, "Cool, let's
mm,
do it." That's exactly what happened. I didn't force him to actually say, "Let's collaborate." It had to feel right. The moment was right. We were celebrating the show right after
mm.
the backstage, and he came through. He was celebrating with us, and he was like, "Yo, I want to actually do the lookbook for you."
Yeah.
And it came out very, very beautiful. It's an amazing shoot. I'm happy. I'm happy with the how it came out, especially with the model as well.
Mm,
Nana, yeah, Nana is he's dope as a model, as an African model, as an international model. He's amazing, and he's an amazing person
mm.
as well. Energies they had to actually be aligned. Everyone had to be on the same energy, and we were all on the same energies. And you can see with the pictures how it actually came out that
Yeah.
it was a beautiful project.
Yeah.
Beautiful project.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah. And where was it featured? And on what platforms was it featured?
It was featured I think it was, I'm not sure if you can help. I think it was 10 at
Yeah, 10 and 5, between 10 and 5.
yes, between and 10 and 5. It was
Mhm.
between 10 and 5. Um and it was the Star as well.
Mm. Yeah,
The fashion, yeah, yeah,
the
the
fashion,
fashion
the lifestyle
editorial,
segment. Okay.
yeah, the lifestyle segment of the Star, which was good for me. But it
Mm.
was an amazing article from the Star,
Mm.
and I, I still have the copy. I still have the copy. Still have the copy.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. All right. Thank you so much for joining me.
Is that it?
We could go on, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are you
Yeah. No,
based? Where
definitely.
are you based? Where is your studio?
My studio is still in Newtown,
Mm.
but at the moment I'm still at home.
Mm.
Um, I have a new baby boy. I'm focusing on that at the moment, being a father, and I'm enjoying each and every moment. And I'm actually looking forward to actually going back
Mm.
with the pop-up and actually the collection.
Mm.
But I'm still operating in Newtown, 41 Studios,
Mm.
uh, right next to Carfax. Yes,
Yeah. Mm.
I'm still
Do,
there.
do you have an online store?
No, it's actually something that I'm working on right
Mm.
now,
Yeah.
which actually makes sense, especially now because of the whole COVID,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense right now. I've always wanted to have it, but I never had the it wasn't something that I wanted to rush into,
Mm.
but now it makes perfect sense for me to actually do that. So it's
Mm.
something that I'm actually working on right now.
Mm.
I had to take down my website so that I can actually change that into or add a feature that's like an online store that can actually help me push the merch and the art pieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm. I know I would
Yeah.
like a kimono coat for winter, and I'm
Yes,
just saying.
definitely,
I'm
definitely.
just gonna throw it out there.
Uh,
I can see it.
no, keep an eye out. Just be on the lookout
I'm a
for the
designer too, so
new.
I'm just gonna send you the drawing. Just like you work with this.
And that's something that I'm actually running away from as a creative. You know that. I
What?
don't know if you understand. You would understand what I mean by that.
Mm.
We had an argument with other creatives. I was like, you know what, as a designer, I did not go to school for people to actually hand me
Mm.
um, designs of people that actually created, you know,
Mm.
like design stuff, and then for me, I need to actually make a replica of what you just,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's not what I went to school for, and I'm trying to run away from that. And I told
Mm.
myself that I don't want to be that type of designer. I know we have to eat, we designers, we have to make money,
Mm.
but it's not something I went to school for. I want to
Mm.
actually create something and then let people come in and say, okay, I want that, let me
Yeah.
buy that.
Mm. I did find that as
Yes.
well when I was working as a designer. Clients will come in with a picture. Can you make
Mm.
me this? Can you and
you you know
no, it's okay to bring inspiration and be like, these are the looks I like.
mm,
This is what my,
mm,
and then
mm,
you let me create something for you that is unique. Um, yeah.
Exactly my point.
and,
So
and trust me with the
um
process.
exactly. The reason why you're here because of my aesthetic, you're here because of my
Mm,
signature, my style. It
mm,
shouldn't be because now you saw someone else's designs and you want me to actually
mm,
recreate what that person did, and which is unfair to that next person if
mm,
it's someone that you know, you know.
mm,
So it's that's me personally. I want to create stuff and let people come in, like have walk-ins, people come through and say, okay, let me see what you have. I'm
mm.
gonna buy three of these and out. That's what I want.
Yeah.
And with other creatives, when I was telling them this whole thing, they couldn't understand. They were like, no, it was a debate. Like, okay, but then now how am I? But then I'm like, eventually the right market, the right people that you are targeting will come,
Mm,
you know. And
mm,
then once they come, then what's gonna happen? Are you gonna cater for both uh the walk-ins and the people that actually want you to actually,
mm,
recreate people's stuff?
mm,
And people are fighting, saying no, you copied who's someone's design. And their argument would be like, no, but then my client came in and they said they showed me this picture,
mm,
you know. I feel like as a creative, you need to look at that picture, and if you know who exactly that person is, refer that client to that designer and say, listen, I know this person who they are. I can give you their numbers. You can go to them. You can actually buy exactly what you want instead of
mm,
wanting me to actually recreate what they made, you know.
mm.
And I've seen people fight over ideas. People, I mean, there's nothing new under the sun. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Uh, no one really owns. Yeah, people fighting about beads, people fighting about masks. I created this type of pattern, I created this, I did this, it's mine, but it's not yours. I'm sure you saw it somewhere else now, and then you decide to actually tweak it. The same person did the same thing, exactly. So for me, I have, it's that whole Pinterest thing going back again,
Mm,
where people actually are getting drinking from the same well of inspiration, and then bamakala when they see Batswana or Aho,
yes.
but then
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Mm, mm,
So it's,
yeah.
yeah, I think as the industry has become so emotional and so too personal now, that if I create a collar that looks similar, less mang mang, then it's war now. It's like, ooh, oh snap,
Oh, yeah.
it's war, you know?
Oh, my designs. Yeah.
Exactly,
Mm,
So
mm,
I've seen that happening around and my peers, or who I thought people who I used to help, or people
mm,
who I thought were my friends or whatnot, And then you'd have those type of things saying no, but then you copied Mang Mang, you copied this, but then you like, here's the concept, I have it written down, I have everything here. So
mm,
why would you say, "Hore, I copied whatever that you say I copied?"
yeah.
Yes, if we are inspired by the same thing, it's cool, but it will never be the same.
Yeah.
You
It will
can
never be the
draw
same.
inspiration. It'll never. You can draw inspiration. We can draw inspiration from the same thing, or the same shriveled paper or a fruit,
Yeah.
but it will never come out the same. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that said, yeah, no, I wish we could all actually go back to the drawing board where we used to actually get inspiration and break it down, look mood board, and
Mm,
then take it to your other 20 or 100 rough sketches, and then get the final 15 or 20 looks, and then go to fabric sourcing and finding the right fabric and writing why you chose this fabric. the basics,
Yeah, yeah.
those type of things. Yeah,
We were taught at
but we
school.
don't.
But
Exactly. We don't
yeah,
do that anymore.
yeah.
We don't. No one does it. I don't see people doing that anymore. Like when they post their
Mm,
pieces, they don't post it with maybe their inspiration and saying, okay, this is my mood board. This is how,
yeah.
or
This is the
explaining the
illustration.
cuts.
Mm.
Yes,
It's the
those
design
type of
journey.
things.
What happened to the design journey? And start inspire people from
It's
the
it's
concept to the illustration to
yes,
let people see the journey, how it developed from start to finish. And it would be such a beautiful story to tell, I imagine. People would really,
yes,
really appreciate it.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Less
Yes,
of
exactly.
seeing
So
of a finished product. It's great. Okay, cool. But here's the story. Tell the story. What is the story?
yes,
Mm,
yes. I'd love to see more of that.
mm,
I'd like to start doing that, and actually maybe inspiring other people doing that to do that as well, instead of complaining about it. Let me do something about it as well, and just take people through the journey of actually creating something, and let them actually say, okay, from start to finish, I understand and I want that,
mm,
simply because of the story that was told,
mm,
you know.
mm,
Um, I mean, now it's just cut and paste. We're just cutting and pasting, cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, paste, and then you still want to cry when someone else has the same thing that you have and say, but
yeah.
I did it first,
Yeah.
where in actual fact, someone did it first and then you took someone else's and then,
Yeah.
but we don't do that anymore. And it's
Mm,
something that I'd love to see as in the fashion industry, and to teach the upcoming, to say we've been here long before,
mm,
paved ways, we've been here, we've been ridiculed, we've been, you know
yeah.
told that you can never do that. We've been labeled,
Yeah.
because of the the stigma attached to a black man, or just a man being a designer,
Mm, yeah.
and then we passed that, and then we thrived, and
Yeah.
we
You've been
pushed,
you've been at it for 10 years,
yeah,
11 years actually now, your career in this
yeah,
industry.
yes.
Yeah. Mm,
Yeah, and I remember at school, I say when they asked how long you should give yourself, like those 10-year, 5-year plans, I actually said 40.
mm,
So no clothing is a 40-year plan,
mm,
and I am 11 years in. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, still a long way to go.
Yeah.
Still a long way to go. Yeah.
And I think you are doing wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Yeah.
All
I'm
right,
actually
that's
happy.
gonna
I'm
do it.
happy.
Pardon?
Now I'm saying I'm very happy. Very, very happy
Mm,
about my career, and where I came from and where I am right now,
mm,
and not rushing it, and knowing the bigger picture, and knowing where I'm going with this whole lane that I've actually just opened right now.
mm,
And I intend to actually tell more stories through art and fashion. I intend to inspire other creatives to actually collaborate and actually open up more lanes for the arts. And I mean, we need to share the same platforms. We need to actually broaden our platforms. We need to actually create more creative spaces for the arts and for the fashion. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's up to us as creatives to do that, instead of actually waiting for other culture vultures to actually open up these platform for us and actually gain power, and
Mm,
whatever that they want to gain from us.
mm.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I
Yeah,
couldn't agree more.
definitely.
Yeah. Thank
Definitely,
you, Elias of
definitely.
Note. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karaba, for having me. It was a
Mhm.
blast. I enjoyed talking about myself and my brand.
Lovely.
uh,
We're gonna do it for today. Thank you for joining Decata. Um, Follow
thank you
us
very
on social
much.
media, Decata at 54. And we'll see
Yes.
you next time for the next podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.